Chapter 1. Execution. We left Radden, Gar, and Flick in the ditch. There wasn't time for graves, not with the fog crawling in and the ground frozen like iron. The captain said something over them. Could have been a prayer, could have been a curse. Hard to tell the difference with him. The mill was a ruin by the end. The kind of place you wouldn't feed a rat, let alone fight for. Brigands and cutthroats had holed up there, 15 or 20 by the count. We took it by dusk, lost 3 of ours, put theirs in the mud, and earned a few cuts and bruises for the trouble. The captain says a contract's a contract. Easy for him. He still sleeps at night. We're down 7 good men to the wagon. They groan like dying horses every time the wheels hit a rut. Rusty keeps them quiet with wine, not kindness, mercy for the rest of us trying to sleep. Nobody talks much now. You can feel the empty spots in the column, the space where the dead should have been. Radden's laugh, Gar's constant bitching about rations, Flick's off-key singing, all gone. Cold and left for the bugs. Mud sniffled beside me. Think Mole had to finally bloody his blade this time. He had the expression of a man hiding a smirk. Aye, maybe the bastards felt sorry for him and threw themselves on it, I said. Mud snorted. When was your first, Hark? What was it like? I thought about lying. A few days after my 15th name day. I didn't say more. Mud chuckled and took a swig from his water sack. Red snatched it from his hand without asking. Killing's thirsty work. Mud brushed it off. Go on then. Drink your fill. Mud was a big man, stronger than most. He let things slide that others wouldn't. Some of the brothers mistook his patience for weakness. I knew better than to test him. That night there was an incident. The lieutenant dragged Red out to the center of camp and threw him into the mud. Go on, he barked. Fight back, you rotten mutt. He kicked Red in the ribs, sending him sprawling again. The captain stood nearby, silent, arms crossed. The others watched, half curious, half wary. Jester sat with his back to the scene, picking his teeth. "Sergeant!" the lieutenant snapped. Rusty came running, posture straight as an old soldier's. "Sir, flog this thief." 30 lashings for stealing company crowns, Rusty nodded. 30, sir. Red shook his head wildly. Sir, it wasn't me. I wouldn't. 40, the lieutenant said. He dropped a satchel of crowns beside Red, and for lying. The lashings went on for hours. Hard to sleep with that kind of screaming. I'd always thought Red was a tough bastard, but the way he howled that night changed my mind. I tend to get angry when my sleep's disturbed. Hard thing to come by on the road. By morning, I was a beast. Nearly knocked Howler's teeth out for taking too long at the water barrel. "Wait your bloody turn, Hark," he spat, then thought better of it and scurried off. I've seen men killed for less. 2 days later, we reached Belgot. Town smelled of shit and corpse bile. The streets were planks and mud, and the buildings were half stone, half rot. I hated the place as soon as I saw it, like every other hole we'd marched through. The Worm Company set up in an inn on the edge of town. The Dead Lady, I think it was called, or maybe the Flayed Lady, doesn't matter. They had decent ale. Most of the men pitched tents outside to save coin. Easier to spend it on women later. That evening, Rusty picked me, Raider, and Jester to accompany the captain and lieutenant to meet with the burgomaster. The captain didn't sit. Come to think of it, I couldn't remember the last time I'd seen him sit. Across the table sat the burgomaster and his retinue, all velvet, rings, and soft hands. "Captain," he began, voice oily, "your timely return is a blessing. My men tell me you brought back a wagon filled with brigand corpses. Worm Company is efficient. I'll grant you that. Efficiency will get you far here, even for a company your size. He twirled a silver ring on his finger, a showman's tick. The captain said nothing, just watched. He doesn't speak to fill silence. He waits for it to choke the other man. The burgomaster waved to one of his soldiers. "Your payment for services rendered, 250 crowns. The man set down a jingling satchel. The captain nodded once. "You're 150 short. 400 was the agreed sum. Removal of a band of cutthroats. Those were your words." The burgomaster's smile thinned. "And let us remind you, Captain, you reclaimed a mill, not a fortress. You cut down sheep thieves and rapists, hardly an army. Surely you don't expect a noble's ransom for such work. You've already looted their stores, I'm sure. You've been rewarded enough. Let's not let greed cloud our judgment." He took a slow sip from his chalice. The lieutenant's hand tightened on his sword. The tension in that room could have cut through armor. I'd have worried more if Raider wasn't standing beside me. He could have slaughtered the whole room if told to. Probably had before. The captain gave the smallest nod. "Very well. Consider the contract complete." The next morning, Rusty and Noel, our two sergeants, gathered the men outside the inn. "New contract," Rusty said, voice rough as gravel. "Mayor wants us to provide security for a public execution. Noel's platoon in the crowd, mine around the gallows." The men grumbled, but none objected. Easy work, easy coin. Guarding a noose beat, chasing brigands through frozen muck. Wick, one of the archers, raised his bow lazily. "And how much is the pay?" "Last job barely covered a pint. This town doesn't seem to bleed gold." Rusty scratched at his white beard. 300 crowns, that's all. No more questions. Rusty was a straightforward man. Good sergeant. I was glad to be under him instead of Noel. Noel didn't talk much, just spat, coughed, or smacked whoever stood too close. By mid-morning we were in position. Me, Mole, Mud, Howler, Red, Raider, Wick, Eno, Goat, all of us, with Rusty at the gallows. A mob of peasants filled the square, maybe 1,000 strong. Angry, bitter, and hungry. Not a good mix. They spat and cursed before the hangings even started. The town guards forced their way through the crowd, dragging the condemned. Noel's platoon helped push them up to the platform, 3 of them, a nobleman, a pale woman in a ruined silk gown, and a little girl in finer clothes than anyone there. Mud grunted. "Looks like nobles." I nodded. "Rival house, maybe," he sighed. "Feel for the kid." "Doesn't matter," I said. "Long as we're paid." "So long as we're paid," he echoed. Something wet slapped Howler's shield. Mud or shit. "Filthy bastards," he barked. "Ignore it," Raider said. Goat laughed. 3 less nobles. Saves me the trouble. Mud and I shared a look. Shrugged. Wick said, "You always this murderous on the job?" "Only when I can't afford a whore," Goat said. "Town's too pricey." The executioner stepped forward in his black hood. The crowd roared, stones, spit, and fists flying. Noel's men vanished into the mob, swallowed whole. Raider and Howler dragged down a few who tried to climb the scaffold. The air stank of sweat, mud, and fury. Then came the crack, 3 ropes snapping taut. The sound was almost lost under the screams. The crowd broke. They rushed us, sticks, shovels, pitchforks. One of Noel's men took a prong clean through the throat. Eno didn't even manage a scream before his was cut. Rusty bellowed for retreat. We fell back. 5 of us left from my platoon. Me, Mud, Raider, Red, and Rusty. We fought our way down an alley, peasants on our heels. Mud and Raider turned to face them, cutting them down quick and ugly. We heard a woman scream nearby. Rusty broke toward it, kicked in a door. Inside, Goat, on top of a young girl. Rusty didn't hesitate. One swing of his mace and Goat's skull caved in. The girl curled into the corner, shaking. Rusty stood there breathing heavy, blood dripping off the mace. I crouched, took Goat's crown purse. No words between us. When we found the captain later, he was coming out of the burgomaster's estate. Jester and Crow carried a heavy chest. The doors were smashed. The house burned behind them. Dead guards everywhere. Belgot uniforms. The riot hadn't reached that far. Didn't need to. The captain pointed something out to the lieutenant, calm as ever. A silver ring glinted on his finger. Looked familiar. I didn't ask.